Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Tonight's topic is going to be understanding the discard. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. And remember, if you want to have a one-on-one coaching session with me, drop an email at narcdailyvideos@gmail.com. Thank you. Guys, the understanding the discard, if you were discarded from a narcissistic relationship, you know exactly how difficult that feeling is and the mountain of effort you had to put into yourself to get yourself to understand that you were in a narcissistic relationship and that the narcissist doesn't think anything like you. Before I jump right into that aspect, I do want to let you know, discarding, what does that mean? It means literally, if you look it up in the dictionary, it's like you're throwing something away. That's the definition of a discard. So an example would be if you are writing an essay and the first draft is not up to par. It's not, the first draft is never the best. Maybe you crumple it up and you throw it in the trash can, or you discard it. Now, when a human being is discarded, that is a feeling, a sensation, an experience unlike anything that you have ever even dreamt about in your worst nightmare. Let's put it that way. A discard is most times out of the blue. It is because you have pushed a boundary, or because the new supply has taken your place, or because the narcissist is jaded with the relationship and they've already extracted all of the supply from you. All of your beautiful resources have been decimated and crushed. Of course, you didn't know that, but that's exactly how the narcissist, that's how they thrive. That's how they move from person to person, just extracting and taking from unsuspecting individuals who believe that, in fact, maybe they were in love, or that they were a good employee, or that they were a kind, loving friend to this person. So the discard is a very difficult thing to go through. And again, I'm not trying to trigger you, but many people have difficulty understanding the discard, understanding exactly what happened. And in this video, I'm going to share some wisdom with you and let you know that, first of all, when you were discarded, I can assure you that you worked as hard as you possibly could for the narcissist and for the narcissistic relationship. And you knew something was off. You couldn't quite place your finger on it, but you knew in your heart of hearts that something was wrong about this individual and or the relationship. And you also understood that the more you worked and the more you tried and the more effort you gave and the more empathy you contributed and or love to the relationship, it was never good enough. And it was often met with dissatisfaction, disdain, disgust. It wasn't met the way a healthy individual would meet those beautiful attributes. But again, you continue to persevere and to move forward and to invest in the relationship because that's what you did. And you believed that this other individual was a kind, loving, or healthier individual until, of course, you got discarded. And when you got discarded, you had to understand what narcissism was, and you had to understand definitions and the whole glossary of terms. The one thing that people get stuck on is that they can't wrap their head around how can a narcissist just discard somebody and not even look backwards. I'm not talking about a Hoover at all. I'm just talking like they close the chapter of that relationship and they literally act like they don't know you again, like you're a complete stranger. The truth of the matter is you always were a complete stranger to the narcissist because the narcissist wore a mask and they just mirrored back to you what you wanted to see in the relationship. And certainly they took advantage of you. They manipulated you. They decimated your time, your resources, your money, certainly. They played the victim. They did anything they possibly could to get a reaction out of you. Remember, on this channel, we respond, we don't react. It's imperative you get that message. It's imperative that you practice that in your life each and every day. But understanding the discard, it is really difficult if you are a kind, loving person or even an empath to wrap your head around how somebody can be so callous, so cold, so cunning, so calculated. The reason why they can do that is because the narcissist never loved. They don't love now. They haven't loved in the past, and they won't love in the future. What they do is they just jump from relationship to relationship until the relationship falls apart because of the weight of the narcissist not doing their part of the job, not being committed to the relationship, I should say. And then eventually that relationship blows up or falls apart, and then they discard you. And then they rinse, wash, repeat, or wash, rinse, repeat, whatever that expression is. It's what they do. That's why the narcissist doesn't have stability in their lives. That's why they don't have long-term friends. That's why their own family members know exactly that they're a narcissist. But yet they protect them. They insulate them because they don't want to be the next victim. Sorry, I didn't mean victim. I've never said that word on this channel. I take that back. They don't want to be the next target. And having said that, this is exactly why when you are discarded, it's unlike anything you've ever experienced because you're not prepared for this. You're not taught Narcissism 101 in school. You're certainly not taught it. And only people that have experienced narcissistic abuse understand exactly what my message is here and exactly what they experienced. And I'm sure it's similar to what we all have experienced on the channel. But understanding the discard, it's as if when you are discarded, let's dig into this part. When you are discarded, your life is literally turned upside down in a moment's notice, because all the surrounded family members or extended family members and friends and business relationships that you thought you had in place, like solid foundations of upwards of 20 years, let's say as an example, they'll disappear overnight. Why? That's right, because the narcissist has already smeared you. Keep in mind, the narcissist is a social butterfly. They like to jump around from people to people in their little groupies and little huddles of friends and circulate information and or misinformation, and they were certainly doing it about you way before the discard happened, I can assure you. Happens in the workplace frequently. That's why people get fired or let go, or they're the scapegoat. It happens in families. It happens in romantic relationships, in neighbors, in churches, in clubs. It happens all over the world. It's disgusting, it's vile, but this is yet another way the narcissist manipulates people that don't know. Keep in mind, people that are loyal to the narcissist, such as the flying monkeys, although not exclusively included to the flying monkeys, they have no clue what the narcissist is. They have no idea. And you may say, well, Andrew, of course they do. They know who the narcissist is. They don't. And I'll tell you why. Because they don't spend enough time with this individual to actually understand and see the mask slip throughout the relationship. That's why the narcissist doesn't have many long-term friends, because any friends that they get, and they have, they stay for a period of time until the narcissist either throws them under the bus or has already extracted as much supply from them as they can, and then they get new friends. It's exactly what they do. Same thing in the romantic relationships. The narcissist does not have long-term relationships. I mean, yes, there are marriages and things, but are the marriages stable and healthy, like past a certain period of time? No. What that spouse is to the narcissist is just a human punching bag. It's a license to be abused. That's exactly what a marriage is to a narcissist. It's a license, a sheet of paper issued by your country, allowing the narcissist to abuse you behind closed doors and maybe even in public. It's 100% true, because the narcissist doesn't believe in marriage. They believe in facades. They believe in cloak and dagger. They believe in the shroud of mystery. They believe in wearing the mask. It's exactly what they do. But understanding the discard, this is a difficult period of time. It's a period of time when you will lose trusted friends, family members. It's when you're going to have to dig in deep to your soul. It's when you're going to have to identify exactly what narcissism is and how you played a role in this relationship. And understand also that it wasn't your fault. The toxic narcissistic relationship was not your fault. And the example I give, as I give to many people I speak with during one-on-one sessions, is just this. If the narcissist had walked up to you when you first met them, in any capacity, neighbor, lover, workplace, boss, whatever. But if they had walked up to you and said, hey, I'm a narcissist, read this 2-page manual about me. This is how I'm going to abuse you each and every way, and it's going to get worse and worse for you. Do you want to proceed with the relationship, or do you want to end it right now before we begin? I'm certain if you read that 2-page document, you would have said thank you, but no thank you. You would have looked for a job or an opportunity or a love interest or a friend elsewhere. That's what you would have done. Because who's going to sign up for abuse? Who's going to sign up to be gaslit? Who's going to sign up for financial abuse? Who's going to sign up for stonewalling, rage fits, blame shifting? The list goes so on and on. It's remarkable. But understanding the discard is a difficult period of time. It's a period of time that many of you have experienced. And if you have, drop comments below. I understand these are some of the darkest days you will experience, including perhaps you may have been, you may have experienced the dark night of the soul, which I did a video on. And the night I created that video, you should look it up, by the way, but the night I created that video was a huge evening for me, and that was a massive period of time in my life that transformed me forever. And I'm certain that many of you have experienced that also, whether you know it or not. Many people watch that video, The Dark Night of the Soul, that I created, and they didn't even know what they experienced, but it resonates with them. And they're like, oh my gosh, I did that. I went through that. I can't believe it. This is another ramification of when you're discarded. You see, when you're discarded, you have to put yourself back together, but yet you don't know how to do it because you don't have an identity, because you were so reliant upon the narcissist to tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and all these kind of things. Remember, you were just an extension of the narcissist. It's what you were. You were in the fog. And if you were discarded, you certainly were in the fog because you didn't know if you were coming or going, what just happened, who does this. There are so many things you need to process. But once you actually have understood what narcissism is, and you've gotten away from the discard, let's say it's a couple months away or maybe further out, you're still, many people are still processing things, and they can't wrap their head around the fact that this person who turned out to be a narcissist just packed up and left, and they literally don't know him. Like, the reason why, again, like I mentioned earlier in this video, is because the narcissist doesn't think like you. They don't have empathy. They can't introspect. They care about one person, which is themselves. They never cared about you. I know it's tough love, but it's real. Because if they cared about you, they would have sat down and had that cup of coffee with you and worked things out and said, hey, yeah, okay, this isn't working out, no problem. But, I think we should end it and let's move forward, or, things like that. But they don't do it. Because why? Because they need your head in the fog. They need your head spinning. They want you pining for them. That's what they want. That's why you never get closure from the narcissist. You never have, you never will. It's never going to happen. Because the narcissist can't provide you closure, which is another thing. Understanding the discard, you will have to give yourself closure. Yes, you will have to give it to yourself. It won't be the narcissist, but that's one of the conundrums, which is when you're discarded, you believe the only person that has the solution to your problems or your answers that you're looking for is the narcissist. That's the last person on the planet that will provide you any useful information to help you understand what has just happened. They can't. They won't. They never have. They never will. They go radio silent. Why? Because they're onto a new supply. And more importantly, they want to watch you squirm. They want to watch you suffer. They want to keep you in the fog as long as possible. It's exactly what they do. So understanding the discard, there are so many layers to this, as there are with virtually everything about narcissism. But the discard is a very difficult period of time. Again, I'm not trying to trigger you. It's a very difficult period of time. And many people, most people I would say, if you put the inner work in and you heal and you actually process everything about the relationship, including the discard, and you come through the fire, which means you're going to be reborn. You will actually see the world through a different set of eyes. You will. I do. I have and I do. And that's exactly what you will have. You will also. The point is understanding the discard, it takes time. It takes a while for you to wrap your head around what's going on, that a person can actually do this. And in fact, there are people that do it, and they're called narcissists. Guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great evening. Stay blessed. Stay true. Stay on the path. Continue to become awakened and aware. And understand that you are beautiful. You are loved. You are special. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. God bless you. Have a great evening. I will talk to you tomorrow. I love you.